Erin Patterson, aka Mushroom Massacre Lady, has put one of her houses up for sale, and we're going to do a virtual walkthrough and talk about it in today's video. Hello Sofa Squad and welcome back to the sofa. Sofa's back there with Mr. Roscoe and my name is Paul. Now like I said, today we're going to be doing a quick little update about the situation, if you will, down in Australia. And this is specifically about the mushroom luncheon nightmare from you know where. This involves Erin Patterson. She is the center of it. She has been recently arrested and charged with several counts against the victims of her alleged crimes. Now remember, she's not gone to court yet. She's not been found guilty. So again, this is all speculation allegedly at this point. These are just my opinions, and that's that. Now the way we're going to review this video is we're going to be reading an article from Daily Mail Australia and looking at some photographs of the said house that is for sale. I'll make commentary at the end of the video about it. So that being said, let's go ahead and get on in. Like I said, we're going to be reviewing this article. You can see the name of it is Accused Mushroom Lunch Chef Erin Patterson lists her $1 million holiday home up for sale. She was arrested on November 2nd. She's been charged with 3 counts of the Big M, and one of her properties has been listed for sale. This is by Tita Smith in Melbourne for Daily Mail Australia. It came out November 13th. So let's move on to the next page. It says Erin Patterson, the woman accused of the 3 Big M's at a mushroom lunch, has listed one of her properties for sale. Patterson, 49, was charged with 3 counts of the Big M after her former parents-in-law, Don and Gail Patterson, both 70, and Gail's sister, Heather Wilkinson, 66, died after eating a beef Wellington pie at a family meal on July 29th. Now, it goes on to say that the mother of 2, meaning Erin, has also been charged with 5 counts of attempted Big M, which relate to the sole survivor of the lunch, Heather's husband, Ian, 68, and 4 alleged attempts to take out her ex-husband, Simon Patterson. Now, let's go on in here and see what it says about the actual property. So it says that they understand the property was Patterson's holiday house and has remained largely unoccupied except for like family vacations. It was purchased for $931,000 in 2019. So that's a lot of money. It says it's a 3-bedroom home, 3 bathrooms, and a double garage. It's listed for auction November 18th with a price guide between $960,000 and $1,050,000. But it goes on to say that there seems to be like a good bidder who's placed a promising offer as of last Monday, so they're not really sure how far it will even make it. Now this part I find interesting. It says prospective buyers have been told the house is up for sale due to rising interest rates. Drinketh from the cup it yalleth. Let's keep going. Records show Patterson, who has personal ties to Mount Waverly, became the sole proprietor of the property back in February 2021, about the time she separated from her husband. Do we see the word motive popping up around here for those alleged attempts on his life? Let's continue. It says, according to the real estate advertisement, the wonderfully positioned property is equally suited to those starting out or downsizing as is for families and investors. Quietly tucked at the rear of only 2, the residence takes great care in providing a comfortable lifestyle with a lounge room enriched with large windows, while the dining zone is accompanied by a well-equipped kitchen complete with a Bosch dishwasher. The description reads, fancy. Creating an invitation for summer BBQs, barbecues, sliding doors open from the dining zone out onto the alfresco deck, while the rear of the home presents children and pets with space to play or set up a trampoline. Extra benefits include a laundry, ducted heating, split system air conditioning, understair storage, high ceilings, plus a remote control double garage with backyard roller door. Now the rest of the article kind of goes in to sum up what has taken place. And again, it just talks about her being arrested on November 2nd. You know, the sniffer dogs came out, they went through her home. She was taken to the Wonthaggi police station. She was charged, spent the night in a cell. Then the prosecutors requested a 20-week delay before her next appearance. So computer equipment seized from her home could be analyzed. That's going to be interesting. She's made no attempt to bail, but her lawyer is expected to make an application in coming weeks. She's going to stay behind bars at the Dame Phyllis Frost Center, a notorious women's prison. And she's supposed to be in court via webcam or video link on May 3rd, 2024. Now let's take a minute and look at the photos of the house. Now, as we see here, it has the home listed. Now, a couple of things that are of interest of this. First of all, number one, I'm from the United States. That's where we're broadcasting from. That's where the sofa is. So just seeing how things are a little bit different. So, and they might do this in other parts of the United States, and I could be wrong or whatever, but to me, I've never seen this. But if you look at the picture and you see how in front of the house, it has that like little sign that shows all the pictures of the inside of the house. What a wonderful idea. You know what I mean? Like for these things like this that are for sale, so you can see that. Like I would think this would help get rid of people who just want to see a house, you know what I mean? Like in the real estate world, like they're not serious. They just want to see what it looks like. Walk or buy type people. Okay, secondly, this house is almost $1 million. Now, this picture right here, I'm like, $1 million. I ain't seeing it, okay? But that's just me. Okay, that's just me. I ain't no expert. Let's go on to the next picture. Here's the roller door that they were talking about and like the backyard kind of area. Again, kind of plain Jane, nothing, nothing real fancy to be honest. But that doesn't mean anything. This could be just a real, major popular area where things are high and whatnot. Now moving on to the inside, here's the living room. Again, just kind of a generic, nice looking living room, nothing fancy. And then we'll move on to the bedroom. Again, I do love the hardwood floors. I will say that. I think they're beautiful. Now I saved this for last, this picture. Now remember, this is not the house where the crimes were committed, okay? This is basically a vacation property. It has stayed empty for the most part, as the article said. However, I cannot help but envision when I see the dining room associated with her, I am seeing her move around that kitchen, her guests sitting at the table, her knowing what's going on. If it turns out that's what happened. Remember, she is not proven guilty yet. It's just creepy to see, okay? It would be even worse if this was her home where the crimes were allegedly committed in. Okay, so that's that. Let's talk about it for a second. First of all, when I was like drinking from the cup, when they were like, oh no, it's for rising interest rates and whatnot, I was like, girl, please. And no, okay, I can't roll my eyes hard enough at it because, and I get it, they're not going to say, oh, she's thinking she's going to be behind bars the rest of her life and she needs to pay an attorney. Obviously, right? I mean, we're not expecting them to say that, but to me, that's what it is. This is someone who was like kind of knowing something was coming down the pipeline and catching wind of it and preparing. If this was a home that was sitting there vacant, not doing anything, and you're going through all of this drama and trauma with, alleged, crimes that you've committed and whatnot, you're going to start unloading stuff, right? So that's my take. I don't know why she's selling it, and it could be just that, I could be wrong. The husband could have something, whatever, but that's my little 2-cent take on it. Now, also, when it said the thing about, she primarily took it over or whatever when her and her husband got separated, remember, she has all these, attempted charges on for his life. Remember, he spoke of like, oh yeah, well, we went to here and I got really sick and whatnot, and this is how this all started to come together, where from the outside in, we're looking at it like, this isn't right. And so to hear those charges finally come up, but then also to hear of this property and this intermingling, one thing with this situation that I could not put my finger on completely was, and not that it really matters, but again, it just kind of gives more context, was the financial situation. I knew they were comfortable. You can tell by looking at her house where the luncheon took place. It's a larger home. Then reading a little bit more into it where it's like, oh, I just bought this, we're going to build this dream home and all this stuff, right? Her parents, the house that she got from them, that her and her brother, whoever it was, sold for, quite a bit of money, or they bought each other out, however that worked. So what I'm getting at is, I'm like, okay, there's a level of comfort. Well, then this being this vacation home, and it's almost like $1 million. I'm like, okay, there's like money, which also equals motivation. Now, here's my thing, and again, this is all speculation on my part. This is not factual. This is none of that stuff. This is just me from the sofa talking, okay? So basing my opinion on just public information, right? So here's my thing. I personally think that she was not trying to take everybody out of that luncheon. I think she was trying to be the savior, almost like, I don't know what you call them, but like nurses who, like dark angels or whatever they're called, where they kill their patients, but they also kind of keep them sick to save them type situation. I just got this vibe off of that, or whether it's Munchausen's by proxy, whatever that is, that kind of energy, and maybe something went out of control and she ended up taking their lives. So much will depend on what Ian says. Remember, he survived, right? So he's going to have information and was helping them, and that's what led to her arrest. That did not do her well that somebody survived this. So I don't know if she was attempting to make them sick and then come back and be like, oh, I'm the savior, I'm going to care for everyone and integrate myself in, or if she was truly wanting to take them out as like a form of financial motivation. You know, I don't know. Remember, there's also the custody thing with her children that she's a little bit like over with the ex, you know, well, yeah, the ex, the estranged husband. So there's all these dynamics at play, because I guess for me, a big thing with this is the motivation. Like, why? Why would you do something like this to a group of people? Okay, your former in-laws. It was already weird enough when she was like, when they were like, oh, she was having them over to discuss basically how this relationship was going to go or whatever. It's like, okay. But remember, the estranged husband was supposed to be there and he backed out last minute. There's so many dynamics like that, because again, I just come back to, why would you do this? What would be the motivation? What would be the reasoning? But again, oftentimes with these crimes like this, there is none, right? We as humans, and especially, I mean, me, I'm going to speak for myself here, I guess. I need to categorize, I need to group things, I need to assign it a meaning, like, okay, this is why this happened. You know, here's the, whether it's makes sense or not, right? You know what I mean? Like, no, of course, murder doesn't make sense, and it never does, but at least if I can understand it a little bit, and this is just one of those where I'm like, well, what? It would make more sense to me that she was trying to make them sick and come in and be the savior and take care of everybody, as opposed to this calculated plan to wipe out an entire family at lunch. I mean, what do you do with that? You know, I don't know. But again, will we ever? So anyways, that's it. We'll have to see if she starts unloading other stuff and where all that goes. So May is her next court date. We're going to see how that plays out. Again, it's going to be kind of a little bit of dicey information along the way, just simply because this is, you know, down under, right? It's a different country, different laws, different ways they handle crimes and whatnot. And again, my heart goes out to her children, number one. Can you imagine? Number two, the surviving, you know, people, you know, her estranged husband, Simon, and Ian especially. Ian woke up out of the hospital, family, wife wiped out, gone. And this is what he's come to. Like, this is his life now. This court battle and all this stuff. It's absolutely horrible and heinous. So, anyways, why do you think that she's selling the home? I want to know. So anyways, that's it. Sorry it's a short video, but I just want to come and talk about this. And again, thank you to those who are keeping me up to date with all this stuff from Down Under, our Down Under sofa correspondents. I do appreciate it. And you know what? Mr. Roscoe says if you could drop some sofas down under in the comment section, yeah, he'd be really appreciative of that. Okay. And until we meet down under in the comment section on those sofas, we'll see y'all there.